Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I'm still mad. I'm mad that this Johnny Depp appeal is getting no press out there, and the press that it is getting is sort of telling us Johnny Depp stands to get over it and move on. People who have never read the documents or done any of the research telling us we're just crazy. We just believe in Johnny and haven't done any research of our own. Oh my God, it makes me so livid. The lack of justice that's happening today. And if you haven't watched part 1 of my breakdown on the appeal case, I implore you to start there. And then I'll link to this video at the end so you can come back. So check it out there. But this episode, part 2, I want to break down Amber Heard and her lies. Now, just saying the name already puts me in YouTube jail. So human reviewer, I said a name that's not against the guidelines, and I'm going to be very respectful, but I'm going to be honest, but I'm going to avoid anything against our community guidelines. So please give this video a fair shot. Don't limit it, etc. Because there's important stuff that needs to get through this, and I'm going to make sure I don't do anything against the guidelines. But guys, when they limit a video, it stops the sharing of a video. It just does. The algorithm punishes it, and I've seen it in the last part. So please help share these videos if you can. In fact, let's see, did they monetize this video? Tell me if you saw the ad. That's how this works. If you see ads in the video, then you know, okay, at least it's getting monetized, and at least it's getting shared out there, and I'll keep you posted. The first video did get limited, by the way, so thanks to all of you who've been sharing it. It's been slow going, but hopefully at some point it'll get approved and move through the system. But let's get through part 2 here, because this is equally important, because this is the part where I want to focus on some parts where Amber Heard basically they prove she lied. And they try to justify her lies and show more hypocrisy and the lack of credibleness of her that they just ignore because they're like, we believe her. So let's break this down. All right, so it's important to start where we left off last. We were going through a lot of stuff, but the next portion I was about to get to was this. Johnny's team, his legal team, was going through some discrepancies in dates in March over an alleged incident that both Amber and her sister spoke about. This was important because Amber said it was a particularly memorable incident because it was unlike anything I had experienced with him until that point. They put one incident in March, but then they were caught not telling the same story. And there were multiple incidents in March. And so you got to remember, Amber put together 14 alleged incidents and only one in this date of March. This big one that how could she forget? So then suddenly there were more than one. And everyone's like, well, huh? What's going on? And why is she confused? Well, Justice Nickel just said, that's fine. Who cares? I was persuaded by submission. This is Justice Nickel, the original judge. Amber Heard's explanation for how she originally came up to the date of March 8th. Ms. Heard said that Mr. Depp inflicted a number of incidents on her in that March 2013. Only one was pleaded. But I accept that this is why, in some respects, Ms. Heard's account was confused. I accept Ms. Hernandez's explanation that she had merged the two different incidents regarding Ms. Van's paintings. So here you have someone who has meticulously laid it all out, each one is very important to go through legitimacy of. And she's gone through 14 incidents. And now comes March, she only remembers one. But then as she tells the story, oh no, it was 2. Oh yeah, they were totally different days. Okay, look. This is ridiculous. This is yet another example of it is important that the dates match. Now, I understand in some cases for people like this, it's been 2013, things change, etc. The dates can change. But she said herself how important this one was, that she couldn't forget it. She made a whole big narrative about this one case. And then suddenly, they proved it on the stand. Oh, well, wait a second. You're not telling us the story correctly. So which is it? Did she remember this stuff or did she not remember this stuff and sort of just blurt it all together? Because it does go against her credibility. And this isn't like, if this was the only thing that happened and everything else was reliable, I would say, all right, fine. I might agree with the justice. But the reality is this is one of many things. And this absolutely connects to everything else that Johnny's team was trying to prove. That she wasn't being truthful. That she was changing stories and exaggerating things, which they even acknowledged she had done previously. They literally acknowledge, yeah, she's capable of exaggerating things. So how can you, without a benefit of the doubt, tell me this is proof? Are you guys starting to see it if you're on the fence? Because you shouldn't be. This is maddening. So that's what happened. And then the appeal division, look, the paragraph fails to adequately address the points being made by Mr. Sherman. We don't accept that. Errors of this kind are very common when even a truthful witness, so they're admitting she's a lying witness, when even a truthful witness is recalling events which occurred some years previously, it was not necessary for the judge to say more than she was confused. Cool. credibility of the specific event that was so important doesn't matter. She's confused. She's allowed to be. She's allowed to just. She was sarcastic. She was confused. I mean, how many passes are we giving her? Johnny gave testimony too. He doesn't. He gave lots of testimony denying all of it. Brought witnesses, experts, medical experts, police officers, third-party witnesses. All of it thrown out because, we're going to believe her, even though she's over-exaggerating, sarcastic, and confused. We believe her more. You can't write this stuff. That's why we're upset. Not because we're Johnny Depp stans, because we want justice for Johnny Depp, and this is ludicrous what's going on. So here we go. They again, appeal division doesn't care. No, we got to trust the judge. It doesn't matter. The judge decides it. There's nothing more you can do. And so the Johnny's legal team, to their credit, calls this out for what it is. That the judge just accepted Ms. Heard's evidence by the judge glibly, without proper forensic examination or the inherent probabilities in the contemporary documents. And the appeals division, no, we don't accept that. That's not fair criticism, because judge gave a reason every time he did what he did to believe her, which just denied everything Johnny said. Just to not believe Johnny and believe Amber. That's pretty much what he says in his breakdown if you actually go through the verdict, which I implore you do, which I did read. It's just a lot to go through, but it really gives you a summary, which wasn't fair. It was not fair at all. And so they go through then a bunch of grounds here. There's a lot of grounds they go through that the Johnny's team put together, Mr. Calcutt and everybody put together, and they don't accept any of them. None of them. Each incident, the judge sets out in scrupulous detail the evidence that supported the rival accounts. It was neither necessary nor possible that he perform a nice analysis of every disputed element. God forbid we know why the justice made his verdict, because God forbid in a case where the justice is clearly the only one that matters and nothing can be appealed, which you're proving, it's so hard to appeal. God forbid the justice have to prove why he comes up with a verdict. He didn't have to, but he did, and so his clear. It's always clear why he reached the conclusion he did. No, it's not. That's what they're trying to prove to you. It's not. He chose Amber's testimony over Johnny's. And it said the judge did not make findings in relation to every detail of the allegations, etc. But the issue is determined in relation to each incident with blah, blah, blah. Got to be careful with some of these words. It is said the judge did not properly assess Ms. Heard's credibility to the extent the complaint is that he did not start with an overall assessment of her credibility before considering individual incidents. That is so. So he didn't do it, but it is not a criticism. See paragraph 4. Which is the same as this. Paragraph 4. Anyway, if the complaint is simply that he should have made a different assessment of the weight of this or that part of the evidence which was said to contradict her account, that is not a viable ground for appeal. Cool. So if the judge is off base in his stuff, it's not a viable ground. This is the same point as 3, yada, yada, yada. This complaint here, although the judge's reaction to the evidence of Mr. Depp, many witnesses called or meant that they must mean he's lying. He does not say so in terms, nor does give reasons for his conclusions. This was basically important because Johnny's team wisely said, well, look, Johnny disputes all of this. And he's brought third-party doctors, et cetera, law officers who've been there to sort of confirm that it's impossible for some of this stuff to have even happened. And the judge just denied it because he believed Amber. Therefore, Johnny's lying because Johnny says he didn't do it. And they say, so, well, no. There are many reasons other than deliberate dishonesty why a witness might have given evidence which the judge was unable to accept. Like, what? It was not necessary for him to make specific findings in each case. He doesn't have to tell you why he doesn't believe Johnny. So then why make the breakdown? They're saying he made a breakdown, but he doesn't have to tell you why he made each breakdown. He doesn't have to tell you why he ignored Johnny's evidence. They're proving again what I'm telling you. He accepted Amber's and not Johnny's, and that never explains why. And that's why they appealed. They're like, Judge, he never took any of our evidence and never explained why. He just always took Amber's side over ours. Yeah, well, that's what he's allowed to do. He doesn't have to give you reasons. But Amber's caught being lying and over-exaggerating, confused. She's all these things, sarcastic. Whatever. He doesn't have to give you a reason. This is maddening. Unlike the other grounds, there's one I want to go through here specifically about this LA police officer. This was insane. They literally took an officer, third-party officer, who didn't even know it was Johnny Depp. Talk about someone third party, not involved, who came in and said, yeah, everyone was cagey, didn't believe, they were like, this was super weird, nothing clearly happened. There was a 911 call that's like the worst 911 call ever. Anonymous friend calls like, hey, yeah, you got to go over there. Yeah, a man, a woman. Yeah, I can't say. Just go over there. Something's happening. Go. It's the most unemotional call of someone their friend's in trouble. Yeah, I got to go. Just show up. You're not going to send a police officer because I won't tell you more? Well, you better. Okay, bye. It's the worst, and you can go find it online. It's the worst 911 call I've ever heard. Adding to the fact that literally she began screaming at her husband, Amber Heard, husband Johnny Heard. They didn't even know who it was. So none of this was taken into account. Why didn't they accept this? Hearsay. This was hearsay. Hearsay statement. Hearsay statement, and also because, well, in the end, they chose not to cross-examine him. So we don't accept the officer's evidence. Because they didn't cross-examine him, and because it's hearsay that an officer showed up, took a report. It's hearsay. This is terrifying, guys. This is so much bigger than even just Johnny Depp. This just exposes... I mean, I've been unfamiliar, but I've doing my own research. The UK system is trash. This is horrifying. It continues, it goes on. I got to be careful reading some of these things. But... I want to go through this one because this one's important too. So here's the evidence. This is the most important sort of piece of new evidence that came through. And look how the further evidence application. So they've already denied his appeal thing, but now it's like, can we look up new evidence? No, they're going to appeal this as well. But this is all about her donations. 4 pages of paragraphs. Now, I've gone through, everything's pretty much a paragraph or 2, maybe a page. 4 pages of response to try to discredit and ignore the fact that she was caught lying about the donations that she gave. And this is a very important one. And I want to give, hold on, here it is. I want to give props out here. This was from, thank you, FMP, for putting this together. But just so you understand this story, because I've reported on this before, but this is important. She got all her money from the divorce settlement in February 2018. $7 million she had on hand, okay, that she was supposed to give to the charities. And then the Sun articles published in 2018 of April, and then Johnny sues the Sun in June. And then April goes on Freudian slip. Amber goes on television and puts this out there.
And then there was a divorce settlement. You got $7 million. People were saying this is all about the money. But then you did something that
look at that smirk.
Twisted that whole argument. What did you do with that money?
$7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
Wish I continued playing the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme because it's fitting here. Did you see that smirk on her? Look at her. Look at her.
But then you did something.
And some wonder why I would do the Freudian slip. I got burned by someone just like this. I know this person. Yeah, so it's personal to me. Because everything about this person is the same. The lies, the taking, I'm a hero for victims. It's horrific. What this does to true victims is horrifying. And add to that what she did to the victims. Hello? She promised money to charity. She's been out there publicly telling everyone she gave it to charity. Oh, and she didn't. She didn't give the money to charity. There's so much evidence out there that's now proving. And she didn't... Wow. Here.
That I've never heard of.
I wanted nothing.
I wanted nothing. Well, that's not true because she wanted something because after that, she posted her op-ed piece in the Washington Post. And then Johnny Depp launches the lawsuit against her, which will happen later. And then in June, they realized, yeah, we never received the money. Look at all this money. And now she's claiming, well, once he came to sue me, I couldn't afford to give away the money because I had to pursue the action that Johnny's putting against me. Dude, she had a year. She had a lot of this money before February, but she had a year where the money was in her bank. She has no lawsuits against her, and she's supposed to give that money. That's per the agreement they made. And she didn't. And now she's like, well, the lawyers have admitted, well, you know, yeah, she gave some of the money, but whatever. Meanwhile, the court, Johnny's team has been trying to get the documents to find out, well, did she give the money? Did she give the money? They've been trying to find the documents to like make this happen, and she didn't do it. She didn't do it. And so here in this part, I want to focus on for the 4 pages that he tried to discredit this, because this is a big thing to suddenly reveal that she lied on the stand and that she said she gave them money. And so we do believe that the judge would have we believe that the judge would have reached a different conclusion if he had been established before that misheard and give misleading impression about how much of the $7 million, which she said to have donated to charity, in fact paid. Again, this is essentially because, as we have said, focus was squarely on the evidence relating to the alleged things themselves. But would we add that he was already aware that misheard was capable of exaggeration? So he knew. We also note that he had in the credibility issues section that admitted that misheard had been convicted of making a false statement to the Australian Customs Authority, but decided that was a marginal relevance to the determination of the issues before him. So he knew some of this exaggeration and that she lied to the Australian Customs. On stand, she lied. And, little relevance. And so now we find out she lied on stand again about the donation that she gave to charity. And, this has no bearing. Come on. Why would this have any bearing? Miss Heard was not asked anything about her donation or charity in the course of the cross-examination. They did. They said on the stand that she paid the $7 million. They absolutely did. And at the end of the closing, etc. What were they supposed to do? Ask 10 times? They were trying to get the documents forever, and Amber's legal team kept refusing to give it. Because they knew, did you pay it, Amber? You didn't pay it? All right, we'll delay. And that's what they did. Even in the absence of the documents now obtained, there would have been nothing improper and misheard being asked whether the totality of the money. So they're literally like, sorry, yeah, she might have lied, but because you didn't ask 3 times, we're not going to, because you weren't like rude and accepting her answer, and you asked like, well, did you pay it in full? Because you didn't ask, well, you missed your opportunity. We accept that if she had lied and said that the full amount had been paid, though that would have been an enormous risk. Look how much they give her. They give her why would she lie about that? Meanwhile, Johnny's lying. Every incident, Johnny's lying, but why would Amber lie about this? Even though we've admitted she's exaggerated, we've admitted she lied to customs officials, she admitted to being sarcastic and lying on tapes for therapy. Why would she? Oh, what an enormous risk she'd put herself up to. She would never do that. It would have been possible to make the matter. It would have not been possible to take the matter further without the documents. But for the matter's present purposes, the question was never put to test because she was never asked. So therefore, you missed your opportunity. Sorry. So could she be a liar? Maybe, but you didn't ask. So tough nuggets. You know why this was pressing? Because it was brought up in the case, and Justice Nickel actually made a point in his verdict to say, look, a lot of this was saying that she was a gold digger. And that does have relevance to this, because a lot of this was the fact that she was out there for fame and money and attention. It's all connected. And he made a point. I recognize that there were other elements to the divorce, but her donation of the $7 million to charity is hardly the act one would expect of a gold digger. So what if she said that and was lying and then kept the money and had no intention of giving it to the charity? Does that change her motive? Does that change her credibility? I think it does. I really think it does. And I ask you, the audience, does that make you trust this woman? Yeah, I'm going to give $7 million to charity. I'm going to donate it all. I want nothing. It's all going to charity. Come on, people. This is ridiculous. And we're just Johnny stands. This is scary, man. This is scary for everybody. In UK, man, this should be an uprise. So anyway, that's it. They go through 4 pages of trying to say, well, at the end of the day, yeah, could it be, but we don't know if it would matter. So, did she lie? Maybe, well, I don't know. But anyway, see ya. Sorry, bye. Too late. Conclusion, we would have accordingly dismissed both Depp's application for permission to adduce further evidence and his application to permission to appeal. As we have said, it is not easy to persuade this court to overturn the findings of a trial judge on purely factual questions. We do not believe that there is a real prospect of it being prepared to do so in this case. So they're basically saying it's impossible to win. Doesn't matter if you challenge what his decision was. You're not allowed to challenge it. He doesn't have to give you a reason, but he gave you a little bit of one, so accept it. And sorry, there's nothing you can do that's going to overturn this because he already made the call. Therefore, the hearing was full and fair. And even though it wasn't, they didn't get the documents, a lot of stuff they just proved. No, he gave a thorough reasons for his conclusions, which have not been shown, which have not been shown even arguably to be validated by any error or approach or mistake of law. But he absolutely made some judgment calls because there was no proof. He just decided, well, I lean this way. If he really wanted to do the right thing and just wanted to try and play it safely, he would have said, well, look, there's no evidence saying he did it. Now, could he have done it? I guess. I wasn't there. I don't think he did personally, but it's just the judge, if he wanted to try and play impartial, like, look, there's no evidence either way. But does this prove that the headline was real? No, none of this proves it. It's still hearsay. It's a lot of hearsay from one person to the other. There's nothing here that proves it. Alleged would have been important to say. You didn't. This has cost this client a lot. You got the press. This is again about the press. Remember what the UK court just did was give the press pass to say whatever the hell they want. It's so scary, guys. They can print whatever they want. Well, yeah, she said it. She said it. I'm still getting destroyed in press because they won't even change it. In America, it's even worse. It's so hard to get to do it. And that's the reality now. Is it doesn't matter. You can say whatever you want in the press. There's no penalties. Yeah, just say it. It's cool. Whatever. Guys, look, this is a serious case, and this proves a lot, and I need your help getting this word out there. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. We do a lot of coverage like this. Hit the bell so you get those alerts, and try to watch everything you can on this channel to keep the support going if you want to help. There's so many other ways you can help support not only me, but all your creators. Look for their link trees or their other comments, their PayPals, their Cash Apps, whatever you use. My link tree is in the description of this video. It's also in my bio on my Twitter page. Easy to find. Always tip your creators because these YouTube platforms, they don't help us. They don't let us get it out there, and we do this, and when we do all the research to do this today, it means we can't report another story. And so when YouTube demonetizes us, it makes I know it makes a lot of other channels, big channels I know, don't want to do this topic because they're afraid because they don't get paid. And look, it's not about like a lot of these, like we pay our bills a lot of times to try and do stories that YouTube's going to at least pay us on. But sometimes the story's too important. That's why I'm doing this twice today. It was too important to me to ignore this. So if you guys can support, I appreciate anything helps. Even support with a like, a follow, subscribe to the other channels, etc. I appreciate all you guys for helping and all the ones that did already. Thank you so much. Again, YouTube Human Reviewer, I hope you gave this video a fair shot. Nothing in this went against the guidelines, so be fair. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. Stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe. Check out these videos as well. See you soon. It's actually Thursday. We'll be live tonight, 9:30. Every Thursday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time.